Hey guys, good morning. Just finished a Zwift ride, sitting here trying to recover from that, even though it was pretty easy. I'm really tired. I've been going to the gym a lot. Training is, I don't know if I'm training or what I'm doing. I got the Dirty South coming up and got to get ready for that. I need to get more bike miles. Instead, I'm getting more time in the gym. But anyway, today I want to do a video about something that some people may not agree with me, and I'd love to hear your take on it. So please give me a comment if you don't. But I'm starting to think that gravel racing, that governing bodies are more important than I used to think. I've always thought that USA Cycling is pretty lame, UCI is pretty lame, governing bodies kind of suck. But this recent uh, Grand Prix, lifetime Grand Prix of off-road cycling events. I don't know the official name, but we'll just call it the lifetime Grand Prix. It's troublesome to me for a couple of reasons. Now, it's awesome because I think it's going to do a lot to bring attention to cycling, and especially the cycling that's on the rise right now, which is off-road, gravel, XC marathon type stuff that is pretty popular and very accessible. You know, mass start, mass entry, mass participation events. Those are on the rise for good reason, and I think that's awesome. But also at the same time, I'm a little bit worried that this event is going to backfire in a way, or could backfire in a way, and also it's just not very fair to me. So let me explain my position on this. All right, so there's 6 events that Lifetime owns. They've been buying up a lot of these big races, and like Unbound Gravel or Dirty Kansas, Schwamigan Mountain Bike Festival in Cable, Wisconsin, Leadville 100, Sea Otter Classic, Crusher and the Tusher, and there's a couple others. I can't think of the name of them right now. But anyway, these 6 events, which are three are mountain bike, cross country, long distance marathon type things. The shortest one is the 40-mile Schwamigan race. The longest one is the Unbound Gravel, 200 miles of gravel roads in Kansas. So they own these events, and they've decided to create a series, tie them together. 6 races, 30 men, 30 women, equal prize money. That's awesome. And to get into this series, you get automatic. If you get in the series, you get automatic entry into all 6 events if you want it. And you compete for $125,000 for the men, $125,000 for the women, which is a huge amount of money right now in cycling, which, if you hadn't noticed, is kind of broke. So all that's awesome, except for to get selected, a big part of it was how well you could activate around these events to promote Lifetime Fitness. Basically, be a social media influencer. All the people were, like, none of them are like people that are like maybe controversial or kind of unknowns, or just like to race their bike. I think everybody is somewhat of a decent social media influencer. To be honest with you, I don't know I don't know, that much about it. But I do know that there were some people who weren't selected, maybe because they're not so big on Instagram or whatever. Jeff Kabush wrote a big article I read the other day about it. So the problem with this event is that cycling has always been a meritocracy. It's whoever wants to compete, work your way up through the categories, the ranks, get into the top category. It doesn't matter how good you are at promoting yourself or promoting cycling or promoting an event. It's all about winnings. Sponsors wanted you to win, to get on the podium, so photographs of you in their jersey and stuff like that would matter. And now you kind of do that yourself, and a lot of our current economy seems to be putting work that was done by professionals back on the amateurs trying to do something else. Like, oh, here's another job you can do. Be your photographer, be your own videographer, be your own copy editor, be your own social media coordinator. So that's kind of sucks, because to prepare for these events, these guys need to do a lot of training. They need to do a lot of resting. They need to be well prepared. And how are they going to do that if they're forced to become, social media stars too? I mean, is it possible? Sure. But some people may not have those skills, or may not want to have those skills, and they're left behind, I think. So that to me is a problem with this event. Does it ruin the events? Is it a good idea still? No, I think it's a good idea. I wish that they had just somehow they made it very obvious. Hey, we're picking people based on their performance, but also on their ability to promote our brands. And I think that just completely it was a backfire, bad move on their part. But how do you select the top 30 men, the top 30 women in this kind of racing? Because there are no like UCI points, there are, you would have to base it on like how they've done in previous races. And those previous races, there's a lot of different gravel races. There's a lot of different parts of the country. And there's a lot of different cross country mountain bike race, marathon style races. None of these things are sanctioned. A lot of these races, the 6 of these races aren't sanctioned by any governing body. They're just races. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they're not. So that just leaves you with this problem of that. How do you select somebody based on a lot of subjective things? Now, you could probably make the argument that, governing body is going to be just as subjective, but at least it's fair. They're following a set of rules. The rules are clearly visible. Races would have, like, say, points values assigned to them. There would be an algorithm to figure out, who the top 30 are, who the top, So it would make sense. And in this way, to me, it kind of is a little unfair. And especially if you were, like, say, the 31st rider who could possibly win this thing and you're not going to get in. So, yeah, a lot of riders are skipping the Unbound Gravel, which I think is hilarious because they can skip a race, the most popular race in the event, the one that's going to probably bring the most eyeballs to Lifetime Fitness. A lot of those racers are planning on skipping because, honestly, hey, Unbound Gravel is stupid. 200 miles of crappy gravel roads. Yeah, it's awesome to prove you can do it, but like if you're a professional racer and you're going to do this like insanely hard, long event, especially if there's rain or conditions are bad or something, you might miss 2 or 3 weeks trying to recover from that. You might get, an Achilles injury and knee injury. It's a dumb event, and I can see why they're skipping it. I don't think I would ever want to do it. I don't really have to prove. I have, no reason to prove I can ride 200 miles on gravel. I probably can't. I don't want to anyway. So anyway, long story short, I really feel like this event, while it's awesome for cycling, I hope it does great. I wish they would have, I wish there was a way to make it more fair for the entry levels into it. It's going to be really interesting when we might have people who would not be in the Grand Prix series, but if they were, they would be taking home big, could be winning big money. They get into all the events, they do really well, but because they're not selected in the series, they don't count, and I definitely think that's pretty lame when your series, it'd be like throwing drivers into F1 and being like, yeah, they're there. If they do well, awesome for them, but they don't actually count. It's not fair. So anyway, that's my take on it. Let me know yours in the comments if you think I'm wrong, think I'm right, think anything about it. See you later.